I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, and thank you for your persistence. And you know, if you're just making this much effort, you're going to be very amazed what Saint Germain has to say, because he came this morning and he wanted me to bring great tidings of great things going on. We're going to go ahead and start the slideshow. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about today. Today is October 29th, 2019. Some marvelous things have been happening in the universe. The RV, I'm being told, is started, and there are people collecting their monies. There is so much going on. Some of the stuff going on in California with the lights being turned off isn't just for the fires, but for people being arrested and different things going on. So it's I'm here to tell you that we have good news. So who is here to assist me to progress, change, and get ready to evolve? And the assignment is, I am responsible for my progress and change. To move forward, I choose masters, archangels, Elohim, or a higher evolved mentor to keep my progress and evolve. Now, one of the things I wanted to tell you that was not on the slides before is this, and what it is, Saint Germain wants us to be happy and get in the spirit of the season, even though we're having a real cold start to the winter. It's just became fall. But he wants us to know that 51% is all we have to do. We just have to be 1% in to get the rest. And have the Ascended Masters, they have promised us, and they reiterated that this morning, they will bring us the rest of the way. So I just wanted you guys to know that. Now the other thing that Saint Germain said this morning is we need freedom to be able to do this. Freedom to be who we are. Now I'm going to have you look at this. This comes from a book called The Rules for Radicals. It was written by Saul David Alinsky, who actually died in 1972 at the tender age of 67. And he was teaching that, I missed bringing up this slide on the front one. 51% is all we have to do, just be 1% over that halfway point. Now, this is interesting. Saint Germain wanted me to go through this because this is exactly what the people who are trying to bring a socialization of our society in and take away all our freedoms and enslave us. And the man who wrote the book on this, the people who are trying to do this are following the rules. They want to give us universal health care, because when you control the health care, you control the people. And I've seen that in my life. I was a health care provider, and I found if we had freedom for people to come in and choose what they're going to do, that freedom is very important, and many people care about this, but they don't understand that if the people in charge, the cabal, control the health care, they control the people. That's the number one thing. Number two is creating poverty. Get the poverty level as high as possible Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you're providing everything for them. They won't fight against the hand that feeds them. You know, one of the things I learned about the pharmaceutical industry is they would come in and they'd feed the doctors, they'd take us to lunch, and you know, when they do that, panza llena, corazón contento, they get a place in your heart when they feed you, which means you'll be more likely to prescribe their drugs. So, quite interesting. Debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. We have been, our federal government has been spending more than we pull in for years, and that's why we have a huge deficit. And it will produce more poverty. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way you are able to create a police state. Also, get the people on welfare. Take control of every aspect of their lives. Food, housing, and income. You know, they're talking about universal income. They're talking about housing. They're talking about everybody getting on food stamps and stuff. And this, you know, these things are actually take our freedoms away. Education, take control of what the people read and listen to. Take control of what the children learn in school. And that's been going on for 30 years now. So everybody from 1990 on has been getting indoctrinated by what they want to teach you. And they teach you things that indoctrinate you into believing in a socialist type environment instead of freedom. Religion. Remove the belief in the God from the government and schools. That has happened in the United States. And class warfare. Divide the people into wealthy and poor. This will cause more discontent and be easier to take the wealthy, get rid of the wealthy with the support of the poor. So it's quite interesting. Now we're going to go on. Now, in the law of accountability, accountability has expanded beyond the basic definition of being called to account for one's actions. We have accountants in the government who watch everything that happens. And they're going to try and get rid of cash also and go on a credit basis. Now, they've already done this in China. You can't pay for anything with cash, money. Everything is done either on your phone or they don't even use credit cards because everything goes through the government accounting. Now, to be called to account for one's actions, it is frequently described as an account-giving relationship between individuals. A is accountable to B when A is obliged to inform B about. Now, what this means is, for our freedom, we need to account for who we are and what we are producing, what we are doing. And you know, what's interesting is when we follow God's law, we are only accountable to God. Not to a government, not to others, but just to God. And so this is an important point that Saint Germain wants to make. When we have freedom, that's who we're accountable to. So what do the Ascended Masters do for us? They give us love and service, no agenda or ulterior motives other than our progress and our evolution. Now, in the law of accountability, the old paradigm is do. Like I was just saying, you have to do everything, you know, feed your family, get a home, get whatever you need. The new paradigm is to align to the divine. And when we align to the divine, they take care of us. They educate us. They uplift our heart and our emotions. we pray and we receive blessings. And that's where we're going right now. And that's what the masters want me to teach. Now, the law of accountability, the new paradigm is we educate ourselves, we contemplate, we meditate, we pray, we live in a higher consciousness. We monitor our intent, our thoughts, our emotions, our deeds. And, you know, St. Germain had me make this weekly accountability chart. And I appreciate all of those of you who are checking the check marks and writing out how you've been doing that week. And believe it or not, I read every one of these. And I want you to know that because I am accountable to read them and to respond with information that may help you. So just know that doing your weekly accountability chart is something that St. Germain intended for us to do. So I want you to know that's important. Oh, I went too far. Oh, gonna have to find a way to get back. Well, I'll go to the next slide on the screen. Now this one you can't read because it's probably backwards on yours, but it is frequently described as an account-giving relationship between individuals. A is accountable to B when A is obliged to inform B about your decisions, actions, and justify them. But with the Ascended Masters, our law of accountability cannot exist without proper accounting practices. In other words, an absence of accounting means an absence of accountability. Now, why do we have to have this accountability? We need to take care of our spirit, our emotions, our mind, and our body first. That's self-care. We create our reality through love. And it's very important that we start creating only with the intent of love. We align ourselves with the divine in love. We serve others with love consciousness. We account for our own evolution. Now, it's really interesting because this morning I watched a video with David Wilcock, and he is being accountable for what he is doing. And he also reiterated the fact that we only have to do 51%, and the Ascended Masters will do the rest for us. But our consciousness needs to be in enough of the love consciousness that we're 51% there, which tips us over to helping others and having our minds telepathically communicate this to others. So, the law of accountability is evolution. What we believe and manifest inside of us will manifest outside of us. Accountability with the love consciousness in action with focus equals activation and participation. When we are accountable for ourselves, we can see our progress, love, joy, and bliss, recording it, which is part of the accountability, weekly accountability. We record it, and that presents evidence to our subconscious, changing our subconscious. So that works out really well. Now, when we wire our information in our brain with accountability, the accountability creates new thoughts, new choices, new behaviors, new experiences, new emotions, new personal reality, which creates a new personality in alignment with our evolution. The new personality creates a new reality. And the accountability creates this new reality, an understanding of change in ourselves to be greater than our past reality. Because a lot of us go into our past. We keep going into our past thinking, past thoughts. And we have to change that. We have to create a new reality which leads us to a higher love conscious reality. We rewrite our subconscious with that accountability, creating a new reality in our lives of hope and love. Now, the moment we begin the accountability, we step into the higher consciousness with emotions of love, joy, bliss, gratitude, and then we start to heal ourselves and others, make contact with the heavens, and move into the love consciousness. The moment we give an accounting for ourself, our energy enters into the fifth dimensional flow of love. And that accounting should also include forgiveness, forever going into the past, forever thinking bad thoughts about ourselves. We need to move into a new paradigm of belief and faith and loving ourselves enough that we put that same energy into those who we account to, and we create that new reality. Accountability creates an energy of, I can create a new future. I see the future and I truly desire, and it is so. So the old model is cause and effect. The new quantum reality, faith begets thought, begets effect. Accountability is the ultimate form of creation. Because when we're accountable for what we're creating, and we're doing it right and creating the right things with the assistance of another being, when we change our reality with the assistance of another being, our reality changes around us. Accountability is creation through faith and thoughts with others. And we always need to choose the higher beings of light and love to assist us with this. So, the law of accountability is the law of assistance. The old reality equals we have a crisis and it takes time to make changes. New accountability is in the quantum reality, faith, thought, assistance equals to change, new reality, instantaneous for everyone. So once we get everyone to that 51%, we are going to have an ascension of the entire planet. So, accountability with clear intention, with elevated emotion, always. And that elevated emotion, there's several of them. The most important one is love. So that manifests a love consciousness, miraculous, amazing things start to happen. And I'd like to thank everybody who assisted us with praying for Vicky's cousin, who was in horrible pain and dying from cancer. He called up today and he said, I don't know what you guys did, but I don't have as much pain. Thank you. And so thank you from him. It's very important we know we have this power to assist others and help them immediately. So the law of accountability and evolution, the assignment is I am responsible for my progress and change. I have a teacher or mentor assisting me with my progress and change. I am not in this alone. I have assistance with other like-minded beings. So thank you. This is a quick lesson. We're in 20 minutes already, believe it or not. So I'm going to open this up for questions, and so we'll go through and get everybody unmuted. Who has a question out there? Now, I did have somebody send me a question, and he wanted me to read it online, so I will do that. Let me grab the question here. Okay. question is, can you address the issue in your mentoring on some suggestions how we can open our third eye for better